would you tell everybody the significance of this motorcycle and what it meant to you meeting Mom and then courting Mom?
I had a brand new motorcycle, 46 Indian, that was the only one in the neighborhood. So I was very popular with the girls. The guys didn't want to ride with me because they said he's too wild. But I was gentle with the girls. So I met I was at a club, and her sisters came by, and they were young, 14 and 15, I think, and they wanted to ride on a motorcycle. I said, I'm just giving you a short ride because I don't want the police to be picking me up. So, but they said, okay, but after this, we have one more sister that's at choir at their church, and you have to give her a ride. Well, when I gave her a ride, it was dark, and I said, I'm glad I got rid of these three girls, you know. But I said, are you still in school? She said, yeah, I'm in high school. I said, all right, I'll come and pick you up.
How old were you, Dad?
24.
That's not fair.
He was 24 and I was 17.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
So I didn't recognize her. So I pull up at the high school, and I'm sitting there on the motorcycle, and this pretty girl comes with a beautiful smile on her face. And I said, and who are you? She said, you promised me a ride. I said, I did? She said, yeah, last night right down at your club.
Well, you're really surprised.
And when she gave me that smile, I said, I'm going to marry this girl. Just right then and there.
Wow.
But it took 2 years. 2 years. 2 times.
Now,
I had to convince her parents, who were Ukrainian, and they did not like the Italians. So her mother said, well, he's pretty nice. He's not one of those dark Italians. So that was the beginning of a courtship, but I had to court the whole family. I had to take the mother to the store, the father to work, the kids to school. So finally she said, you have to sell that motorcycle and get a car. See, we need a car because everybody needs you in my family. I had to sell that motorcycle for our family.
hey, Dad. Hey, Dad.
You don't have to tell it all.
Dad. Hey, Dad, are you laughing or crying?
No, I cried many times.
So last night we were talking about some Philisms. So he has some expressions that none of us have ever heard anybody else say, such as, wait a while. Wait a while, where's that come from? Who knows? He says, this is my father's favorite expression now. He likes to say, let's make this quality time. Now, here's the backstory. He says that when the conversation is not going his way. So he starts a conversation, it's going this way, all of a sudden it's going this way, he says, wait, let's make this quality time. Has anybody ever had the pleasure, is maybe not the right word, of playing Scrabble with my father? He comes up with words that no one's ever heard of, because he's always trying to get the 50-point bonus. So his most famous was Frond bird.
And I said, it's a bird from Africa.
He said, it lives in the pond fronds. I said, Dad, it's spelled differently. Frond is F-O-R-N-D, not F-O-R-N. He said they take the D off when they put the bird with it.
No, the other word, I was thinking about it this last week. I was working on my deck, making some additions to the deck, and there was 2 things that went on. Is that my daughter's boyfriend, Benny, was helping me, and a classic that he and I, because we always used to work together on cars and all that stuff, it's go easy. Go easy, Dennis. Don't strip it. Don't strip it. Go easy. And so the whole time I was working with Benny, and whenever we work, like, go easy, Benny, go easy. And I could hear my father's voice through that. The other one is, that ain't gonna move. That ain't gonna move. And so I've been building these railings on the deck, and I was working by myself, and I put some bolts in there and everything else, and I started to try to shake it, and it wasn't moving at all. And I went, man, that ain't gonna move. And I was like, oh, I could hear Phil in my ear. I had been dating this young lady for about 2 years, and she was from Colorado, and we had decided that we were going to take a semester off and move to Colorado and spend the winter skiing and become ski instructors in Aspen, Colorado. And we were gonna spend the whole winter, because I really wanted to learn how to ski. So I came home and I told my dad, and that's when the fireworks started, because the words that came out of his mouth were ski bum. And for him, ski bum meant that you were sleeping in a ditch, eating, out of cans of beans, right? Because he remembered being in the Depression and all of that stuff. All right, so we argued and fought, and it went on for several hours. And finally, I got so mad, I left. And I went and stayed with a friend for the night, and I went to school the next day, and he was furious. My mom was crying. It was a horrible situation. It was Italian, right? That's the way we live, right? And so I come back, so I got out of school about noon, and he worked in the post office, and so his days off were in the middle of the week, right? So I come home, and there I see his car, and it's like, oh man, I gotta go in the house and do this all over. I come in, he comes over, puts his arm, you sit down, come on, you're my son, I love you, I'm sorry about last night. You sit down. So I sit down, he sits down in the living room. It's the old living room. And I'm sitting there, and he goes, so Dennis, we love you very much. Your mother and I talked about it last night, and we've decided that no matter what you and Timmy want to do, we'll be disappointed. I sat there, and I sat for a minute, and then I started laughing. And he looks at me and goes, what's the matter? I said, you're supposed to say whatever you want to do, we'll support you. He goes, no, your mother and I did. That's not what we agreed on. Whatever you do, we're going to be disappointed. I said, don't you see the humor? Then he got it. You could see the lights go on, and then he started laughing. Then we hugged each other. I never went to Colorado. However, it became part of it. So even in my family with the kids and everything else, it's like no matter what you want to do, Cassidy will be disappointed.